Hey team, how we going? It is Kaz, but I'm not here alone. The knife play, naturally, the 50-year-old present is for Mr. P and his entertainment because it chaps his ass for some reason. Welcome, not just Kaz, not just you, but also Lauren is Shining and our offsider and mini-me, the babushka, Rose. Would you girls like to say hello? Would you just like to do the official introduction to the 10-question plus extras novelty personality test / quiz?
Sure. Hello. Welcome, everybody.
You heard two beautiful voices, probably from one person, given that comes from Tasmania. Rose, would you like to do your official introduction to the channel?
In the Trenches with Cats.
Okay. Despite the fact she sounds like she's 4, she's actually a fully grown adult, children of her own, you know, an amazing young woman. Okay. And someone I get to speak to all the time. I wish I got to speak to more of you all the time, but that's only possible if you get on Patreon to help me, to help Daz to buy cows. Get on Patreon today. If you don't, I hope your back is itchy until you do. Okay, guys and gals, we've got a personality test that's coming up tonight that's all about you learning about you. It's about metaphorically putting the mirror up, writing it physically down on a piece of paper in front of you to make it no fugazi, to make you own it. It's going to be about personality traits. It's going to be how you rate yourself. It's going to be about maybe secrets you harbour. If you've got other friends and family members and you're watching this on the television in the main room and this is your version of Googlebox, what a great idea to get everyone to sit around with their piece of paper. I promise not to swear other than on the Lord that everything I'm about to say is true. And let's invite one other thing, please, Lauren.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's time that we let people know we are searching for a new moderator.
Yes, indeed. So put forward your suggestions and nominate each other or put your own hand up.
If you want to be a moderator, you let us know. We're going to be watching Oliver Twist. G'day, mate. Please, second, we'll have some more. That's what she said.
Oh, my gosh.
Welcome to tonight. Payday for some, off pay for some that think life sucks until next Thursday.
Oh, my gosh. Wait a minute. I have to interrupt you. I just saw what Rob Kent wrote, Keeper of Hounds. He's just had a finger amputated after a work accident. Rob, oh, my God.
Oh, Rob. I've had a work accident, had surgery today, and had a finger amputated.
Oh, my gosh.
That is terrible, mate. But in saying that, we're in your corner. Everyone, what can we call Rob's finger?
Oh, gosh, the one that got away.
Tom? Tom Thumb? I hope it's not a thumb. Please not. Is there any chance that you can tell us what happened, please, Rob? Mate, when it rains, it pours, Cobber.
Yeah, exactly. And we're thinking of you and sending all our love. Good grief.
Absolutely. That is terrible.
Yeah, like you know, if anyone doesn't know, Rob is one of the most valued members of this community. He's an OG and he has one of the biggest hearts for Australia and people and puppies.
And he was the holder of sesterces until he sent them to me.
Yeah, great gift giver too.
He is.
Yeesh, Rob.
Your personality and your maturity is welcome here, and I couldn't imagine you not being here, mate. You were like beef jerky on a 10-day operations trip to Tully. We need you on that wall.
Yep, Charmaine Fox.
No, it's his index finger.
Oh, no. What are you going to do? Yikes.
Now, that man doesn't point the finger at anyone.
No. Oh, Rob, that's going to take some rehab to get used to. Well, stick around with us if you get bored or need a lift up. We're here for you.
And team, if you see us being like this with Rob, having a bit of sense of humour, I would expect you to have a sense of humour with me if I was in the same position.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure that's just exactly what he needs, a lift me up.
It sucks.
Yeah, for sure, indeed.
Oh,
Like,
God.
Miss Palmer lost one of her daughters. Yep.
That sucks. Nicole King for moderator says Stevie Webb. Okay, we'll see how we go. Rob, it won't be happening today, team. We want to see what you've got to say.
Yeah, exactly, because maybe not everyone makes it to every stream. Sam said he's here because you're worth it.
Sinaj, because you're worth it.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, gosh.
Joshy Fawns was, he asked me, I asked him actually for what we were going to talk about tonight. And and it was when we came home, it was actually, he was the motivation behind me going for the quiz, the personality, so people understand who they are better.
And that's a really great thing. You've got to be able to look in a mirror at yourself, because you're the only one who has the power to actually adjust your sails and reinvent yourself and that. And this is, well, Joshua is a really sort of undervalued member of YouTube community. I think, he's good value.
He's one of the most active people.
He is, indeed, and on my channel too. So he's a great supporter of Aussie YouTubers.
If he was on the beach, he'd be the seagull with the most chips.
Exactly. Shout out to you, Joshua Fawns.
There he goes.
Gosh, Rob. He put his finger in a turboprop. I don't even know what that is, but it sounds like some sort of propeller thing.
Rob, lucky we weren't rotary phones and you didn't have to ring a number.
Yeah, and Nicole King's right. That's lucky it was only your finger, Rob, because you are so precious that would have been just awful.
Well, you get out of the quiz tonight, mate, and I know it's going to hurt to put the hand down. It's going to hurt to put it up.
Yep, but feel free to stick around and just, help adjudicate.
Yep. We need a medic to come and see ya.
We do. Rose has just had to nip out for a minute, but she said she'll be back.
That's a racist comment. Any Asians on here? Okay, we didn't mean anything by that.
Come on now. Come on.
Okay, and by the way, team, in response to the video we did yesterday on young Cleo, I recommend you watch it. It was all about, I passed dispersions, none of them on social media, all just conversations where I thought to myself, following true crime, put a thumbs up here if you're a true crime fan here. It's always a family member, pretty much.
That's right, and you know what? Statistics back you up there.
Yeah. Anyway, we've got a couple of things. We've got a couple of things we want to say here, Lauren, to people before we take this quiz. So it's important that this puts the goalposts up some parameters so people understand what we're about to talk about. And that is, you're about to get a second chance, especially if you're in New South Wales or Victoria. This screen's jumping around, Brady Bunch. I want this many people on a Zoom call soon.
Yeah, we got to do it.
Bam. There we go. Don't check out the legs. It must be cold weather. Looks like New York. Smells like it. Guys and gals, you were getting a second chance with life. Rob, not a good start there, my friend.
Yeah.
Now that COVID has come and basically all the borders are about to open, etc., external travel, this is going to be an opportunity for you to be able to come back out into the world, and all the bridges you'd burnt previously, you can come back and let sleeping dogs lie. You can look at the sides of you that you believe were not the best versions of you, work on it, tinker at it, but then go back out into the public and become the you that you want to be. Because if you went behind the COVID and you're a dickhead and you come out a dickhead, sorry.
You weren't going to swear.
We've got a kangaroo here too. My first stream here. Could we get some thumbs up for, is it?
Dat kangaroo.
Dat kangaroo won't get off the bonnet of my car.
Now we've got Dat kangaroo.
Good to have you here, Dat.
Welcome.
And Giddy Up right there above him. Vegemite Valley. Okay, we've got some quilt and toilet paper for that. The only Australian brand. Righto, I took some screenshots before so you understand what we're talking about with traits. I hope you've got a pen and paper. Take this seriously because you might actually really get something out of it tonight. It's something different. You've wanted something different, and here we go.
Yeah, let's do it because look, you got the most successful people I know often reinvent themselves and take like a setback, like say the lockdowns and that were, when you come out of it, as a opportunity.
Yeah. You're right on. And you know what? the good thing about tonight is you can be as goddamn honest as you want to be. And the reason why you write it down is, like I said before, is to make it real. If you just do it in your mind, it's easy to dismiss it. You know, listen to the song, Man in the Mirror. I used to say, if you listen to that every day, it's more likely you are going to be a better person that day. Take responsibility for your actions. Own shame. Change things about yourself. Work on the negatives. Don't just sit on the positives.
Yeah, don't sit in the negatives either. Recognize them. Go, oh, okay, that's within my power to do something about.
It's true. And Turkey Fish is what's he doing? Looking at himself? Oh, looking at his paper and pen. Okay, excellent. So some of the traits we've got here is generosity, integrity, loyalty, devoted, loving, kindness, sincerity, and self-control. Now, although they're traits, it sounds like a bunch of bullshit to me. That sounds like words that people give themselves as positive affirmations while at the same time attacking people in comments, etc. So let's kibosh comment sections when it comes to the actual go on Facebook and destroy your own character where people don't get to understand context. Be careful of that. Okay, be very careful of that. Because we see people, you know, come unstuck. Where are we? Where are we? Australia.
Probably at the beginning of the quiz.
Yep, let's get to it. Okay, we get what we're saying. So we've got 10 questions plus an extra question because you've always got to get one extra question.
Yep,
the kicker. But then we've probably got a bonus question from Lauren. And you know what? We may even have some questions from you.
Yeah, exactly. But they don't have to share in the comments all your answers because some of these are just for you. But it would be interesting if you feel like it. You know, we don't need confessions and that, but if you feel like it, do share your answers so we can talk about it.
Absolutely. Yep, absolutely. And you know what? Later on, it doesn't hurt you when this is finished rendering, like a steak on a barbie, sorry, vegans, to be able to put it down there so people can look at it later and go, you know what? This is what I got out of it. And I'll timestamp when these are about to happen. So the first one's about to go over the line. Righto. Consider yourself as an entire package. Everything about you. And what I want you to do, question 1, what do you give yourself as an overall score out of 10? 1 being the worst, 10 being the best.
And that's overall package. That's not
overall.
Just how you look, it's how you behave, it's what your attitude's like.
And it's who you are now, not who you used to be.
Or who you want to be. It's who you are right now where you're at.
Yep. 2 first names. G'day, mate. Carl P, Special K. These early streams, bloody daylight savings. Sorry, Carl, I push it to 7:15. If I go any further, mate, I can push it later.
Yep, exactly. And we actually had fun with this quiz before, didn't we? With you were testing it on Rose and I. It was quite interesting.
It is interesting because some people will give it depth. Put a thumbs up once you're ready for question 2. Vegemite Valley, 4 out of 10. Yeah, you know what? Sinage, because you're worth it. Because you're sort of worth it. I like it.
Yeah.
You're going to get something out of tonight. If you're looking at yourself as below par, you're going to get something out of tonight.
Exactly.
And remember, the questions are going to get harder.
Yeah, exactly. And also, I put myself at about there too.
Yeah. Yep. I gave myself prison bars. That'd be an 11. Nah.
Yeah. There's no right or wrong. This is just for you to look at yourself and you know, see what you can do might give you some insight.
We've all got our own warts.
Yeah. Bye, Rob. Thinking of you.
You too, mate. Yeah, Rob. See you later, bro. I want photos. I want photos, mate.
Yeah. Oh, God. Then he's going to send them to me. Yeah, we've seen Dave's bones. Why don't we see yours too?
He's got a boner.
Oh, no.
Question 2. The first one was fairly easy, and you may change your mind as you go through the quiz. Question 2, simple one. Would you date you if you were someone on another side of a table? And if so, or if not, why not?
Good question.
I'll give you 30 seconds for that one.
Yeah.
That would be hard for some people to look and go, you know what? I probably wouldn't date me.
Yeah.
And no one knows you more than you.
Yeah, I'm a reliable sort of person. Yeah. And I suppose it depends on what you're looking for in a person too.
Are you deliberately dropping in lyrics?
Well, did I?
No,
I
still haven't found what I'm looking for?
No.
There's nothing wrong with honesty here, team. There's nothing wrong with honesty. Okay, because the whole point about this is to be able to go, you know what? I have got some changes to make.
Yeah, exactly. And we're not talking about your actual sexuality there, guys. We're talking about you as, say, if you're heterosexual, if there was an opposite sex version.
No, I just get what he said. He wouldn't date him because he's not gay. I get it.
No, I'm just clarifying.
Yeah.
Mr. P, you gave yourself a 7 or something, Mr. P.
You know what, Mr. P, I'm old and wrinkly too if I get in the shower long enough. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, exactly. And you know what? That just means you're distinguished.
That's right. Dave D, he's only got one leg. Question 3, team. Let's get onto this one. Are you ready for the future? This one would really affect Mr. P. Are you ready for the future? Because it's going to look different and it's coming fast and you can't do anything to delay it. What you're thinking about that, this is just a yes and no answer. Let me clarify what that means. Are you open to change? Are you going to be the guy that's on the horse that's looking at the car 100 years ago going, it'll never take off? Don't worry about it. Are you trying to train in a job right now that you know in the back of your heart, but you will not talk about it, that you're doing a job that you already know will be redundant in 10 years? Are you against relearning, skilling up, etc.? I can hardly do it. You know, I am really, really slow on the uptake of new things. Once I've got it, it's hard for me, but I've got an open mind. I'm adventurous. You know, I'm curious. I am time rich in some ways. And I see the future coming as an exciting thing. Yeah,
me too.
And I hope you do too.
Yep. And I hope you're adaptable enough.
Because, this would be a very scary question for some people that feel like they're being left behind by their 7-year-old who knows how to use the iPad when they don't.
Yeah, exactly. Yep, there's some really good answers there in there, you know. Bring it on. Joshua's ready. Stephen Webb's not a big fan of change. Yep, and that's something you can look at. He's being I'm not a fan of change either, but I think for big world changes, I'm actually quite adaptable, and I also like to watch what's coming, so there's no surprises for me too much. San said yes because it's a big part of his job. Yeah, I don't think we need doomsday preppers. I don't think that's where we're heading. Have you had a look at some of the technologies? They're amazing.
Sage, take up penny stocks, got some. You know, I'd love to be able to tell you what's going on with my shares at the moment. I won't know until Monday. And it's going to be a catastrophic yes or a catastrophic no, and I don't know which one. And at the moment, I'm able to maintain a steady flow of personality through the camera to you, which doesn't give away the fact that I understand I could very well be on the Titanic on Monday. But that's not your fault.
Yeah, that's right. And that's the game.
Yeah, that is the game.
Yeah,
Question
to Nicole, but I think this is it's like the frog in the pot of boiling water. You know, it's a slow change when it comes to society. And I don't think it's all I don't think we're going to have a shit hit the fan situation. I don't think it's going to all collapse. So I think you don't need to worry about it.
Which makes the next question a very good one. Wait 2 seconds. We've got Giddy up here who's thrown 15,000 people's worth of AdSense at the channel. Nutsu cow, thank you very much. Giddy up, as Kramer would say.
Yep.
Apparently your work, appreciate your work, guys. Helps heaps. Giddy up, fantastic. Can we get some thumbs up there for Giddy up? You know, appreciation like this, one, it keeps the channel going, throwing an Asian cow at us. But not only that, it tells us that we're at least over the target and we're doing some good for some people that need that distraction or that mentoring from not just me, but also from Rob, also from Mr. P, also from Carl, from Lauren, from Rose.
Yep, everybody. We're teamwork makes the dream work.
That's
Hi,
it.
Bruce, And Matt Leadbeater has a good thing. He says, stay positive, stay strong. Yep.
That's it. And just for tonight's stream, can we convert the thumbs up to the index finger up, please? For those that can find it, for Rob Kent, who just lost his today.
Yeah.
For those that just came in
3
late.
of them. Lots of 3.
Yeah, no. Yeah, there we go, Lauren, straight up. Well, no worries, gynecologist right there.
Oh, good grief.
Question 4, Quattro, for those that think I'm sexy when I speak Spanish. 3 things that you cannot live without.
Yeah.
Lauren and I both agree with one thing, and that is... Internet. Something we take for granted. Those kids in them skateboards.
Yeah. Don't ever let me be that person, please.
It allows you to navigate the world, to learn perspectives that you would never have known, that would have made you tunnel vision. You know what? It might have prevented WW1, WW2 if there had been internet and countries stood up and said, bullshit, you're not having my son. No, you can learn to shake hands, you two, you know, gobble, gobble, Turkey. And Britain, you can go and have a conversation. No one's going to go and fight.
Yeah.
Have a kebab.
True, Miss P. It does sneak up on you like societal collapses do. Those people in Venezuela had a very modern country, thought everything was okay. Next minute, a wheelbarrow full of money wouldn't buy you a loaf of bread. It's true. It can sneak up on you. But I just feel like we're in a pretty good spot, especially in our nation. Yep,
absolutely. Kaz is a skateboard. I do, Jay. I do.
Yep, indeed.
So question 4. So we've said internet. What else? What's another one? What's another thing that you need? We're not talking about traits here, team. What are 3 things you can't live without? Is it something that gives a capability? Is it your boat? Is it the internet? Is it the ability to be free?
Yep, Charmaine said sex, internet, and car.
Well, they all sort of come together.
Yeah, oh, God. Oh, God. What are you talking about, dogging? What are you talking
about? I'm surprised you knew what it was.
Oh, yeah, don't ask me why. Friend of a friend of a friend. My kids, internet and caffeine, Nicole says.
Caffeine. Thank you very much, Nicole. Coffee. Although it's a little bit of an addiction, I can get a headache with a head like this. Something's going to hurt. I get it. For those that are wondering, this is my real hair, which is the reason why I've got to have my hat backwards for that Leif Garrett look. Look at this. For all those that are balding and angry about it.
Yeah. It's resplendent. It's a resplendent mane. Look at it for a man your age.
Okay, so 3 things. So one of mine is definitely coffee. It's part of my structure. It's part of my routine. It's where I get morale from. It's where I get the strength to YouTube. It is internet. Okay?
Yeah, I agree because especially with me, it gives me society.
I need water. I don't mean to drink it. I love everything to do with the ocean. That's how I recharge my battery.
Yeah, same. I'm a real beach baby.
This leads on to the next question, Lauren.
Yeah,
because we'll talk about all sorts of shit afterwards, but let's get these questions out the way. Question 5 will make you get down. Cinco.
Yep. Ready.
Post-COVID, the opening up, the commencement of international travel and options. What is going to be your very first, most wanted, awaited outing? What are you going to give yourself as a living experience outside your postcode? What is it going to be?
Yep, that was a good question. Rose and I both answered the same.
A lot of people in Queensland will go, what are you talking about? You know, for those in New South Wales and Victoria where we haven't been able to go for more than 5 months, more than 5 kilometres from where we live, you know, if you're in Western Sydney, you can't even go for a surf. You can't.
Charmaine wants to go somewhere where we both admire. She wants to go to Japan.
Yes!
Yeah.
Charmaine, imagine that.
Oh, amazing. New Zealand. Curtis wants to go over to the land of the long white cloud.
New Zealand, one of my favourite places in the world. I just hope I don't get converted into a leftist when I'm over there.
Yeah. Yeah, Nicole, the question was, where would be your dream destination to go for your first post-lockdown COVID when the world opens back up adventure?
Yeah. Yep.
Milk bar, Mr. Patterson said. That's it. Humble ambitions.
New Zealand would be good. Maddie, I'd love to go to China. I would love to go to China for photography reasons. Great Wall of China. Bring back one of the rocks from the Great Wall of China built by the peasants who had the obligation to be able to build a certain amount per person. Fantastico.
Yep, my mum loved it. Rosie's back. Hello.
Hey, Rose, how you going, Triffid?
She looks confused.
God going camping mountains again will be amazing. Yep. Vegemite Valley.
Yeah.
You know, what would a valley be without mountains?
Oh, Daniel McAleer wants to go to Yosemite National Park. That'd be great.
Can I get pictures of you while you're there?
Yeah, amazing. Nicole King wants to come to Tassie, as it's the only state you haven't lived in, and it would be lovely to catch up and have a couple with you. We'd love to have a couple with Nicole, wouldn't we?
Oh, 40 Mike. Poland. I've got friends that have gone to Poland.
That's beautiful too.
Apparently Poland is amazing.
Yummy food.
Yeah. Augustus Gloop.
Yeah. I think he was German, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was. Okay, yeah. This one's a little bit controversial, but it shouldn't be. Okay. It's question 6.
Okay.
Do you watch and trust mainstream media?
Well, you know our answer. Yeah. Do you want us to give it?
Yeah.
You go first, Rose.
No.
Why not?
No. He asked you why not.
Well, I think people should do their own research as best they can and decipher everything for themselves, not just trust blindly.
Absolutely. I totally agree. I find that by going on to YouTube, for example, you can get drawn into happiness. If you have YouTube and you are not happy in life, it's your own fault, because you will look at the subjects that you choose. If you choose to bask in negativity and not look at things like Jetson One, if you don't look at finance channels, if you don't look at camping or photography or water sports, or if you laugh, you fail challenges, all of these sort of things are amazing. And when in doubt, go and look at reaction videos. Yeah. Because exactly. They're so good, and there's a human element that will pick your mood up in minutes.
Yep. Fair point, son. Problem is, a lot of people are bad at doing their own research. That's true. And also, there's a lot of red herrings out there. There's a lot of people who will feed you misinformation. Yeah. So maybe just don't swallow things. Try and chew them up first.
Digest it.
Yep.
And the good thing about YouTube, Mr. P, is a lot of it isn't fake. Because the difference is there's immunity of prosecution for fake news on mainstream media, but you don't have that when you're on a journalist, journalistic skill set of those that are on YouTube. They're held accountable for what they say.
Yeah, exactly. And it is just a person giving you their opinion, so you can take their opinion, think about it, then make your own opinion.
Yeah.
Matt Ledbetter said a good thing. He said, too much mainstream media makes stories confusing, twisting the truth. Exactly. There's always a spin on it to fit an agenda.
And as you get older, your gut instinct will be the arbitrator of truth from the culmination and the summary of multiple sources.
Yeah.
Okay, the next one. Number 7. How many people would be at your funeral if it was to be held next week, not taking COVID into account? How many people? Would you have enough people to carry the casket? Do you feel you've pushed people away enough that potentially it would be a lonely thing, or would it be a festivity, a celebration of life? You know, because there's nothing sadder than a funeral, the sum of someone's life being overshadowed, overlooked by trivial things.
Yeah, exactly. I'm sure that's not true, Matt Ledbetter. You might be, you might need to connect with people a bit more if that's where you're at right now.
Yeah. And this is all about looking at yourself. It's not about making anyone feel bad.
No, it's just so you can adjust your own sails.
Nicole says, honestly, she says at least 50. if I had 40 people at mine, it'd be because I owe them money.
Too late now.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, Sinaj, because you're worth it. More people than I usually care to spend time with. There you go.
That's just something nice about the people that you hang around with. But I think you'd be surprised, son, because you are very helpful in this town. He is so helpful to folks, and he never asks for anything back.
No.
For those that don't know, there's a Tasmanian invasion happening right now.
Yeah. We all live down the street from each other. Yeah, it's true.
Okay, giddy up. That question is loaded, in my opinion. I rather have 5 quality friends than 100 plus people who I know will move on soon after. Yep, and there's a lot of different ways, giddy up, of looking at it, isn't there? You know, yeah. I think because I've been around a lot of funerals in foreign countries and seen how sad it can be that the sum of someone that's lived more than 50 years, when it doesn't make a ripple of emotion, you go, dude, is that what it came down to? It really goes to show how short our lives are and how quickly we can be forgotten. An example of that, Michael Jackson, one of the most famous people in the history of the world, was in the TV for about a week.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah. And you know what? We need people to move on.
Yeah, we do.
And that's why we have the ritual of funerals. You know, even the Neanderthals, took flower rings and put them with their people and buried them and moved on.
Yeah.
You know, exactly. Honouring, giving them that time and then going and living your life. Because grief is a process, but you do need to process through it, even though it's difficult.
Yeah, that's right.
And I would want my people to process through it.
40 Mike, if no one goes to my funeral, I won't attend.
Yeah. Aloha, Desert Wolf.
Desert Wolf, that's a good name. I think Fox, Desert Wolf. Maddie says something really, really spot on here. It's sad about funerals and inheritance these days that you see people almost like the proverbial buzzard sitting on the fence of their loved one's deathbed.
Nothing sadder. You know, my mum fixed that problem by divvying out every single thing that she owned, but she was fortunate to not have a sudden death, you know, but we all had our inheritance. We all had, even down to furnishings and family heirlooms, was all sorted before she died. Yeah.
Maddie,
that's the last thing she wanted.
Maddie, the reason why that would have got deleted by the moderator there is because those words can get a stream shut down straight away by the algorithm, mate. So don't take it personally, please.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Question 8. Put in order, and you got to be honest here, look at the profession you're in, put in order of value, friends, living life, or money. What comes first? Okay.
Yeah, we've answered this. We said living life, family.
What friends? It was friends.
Oh, friends.
Because families are
Yeah, right. Living life, friends, and what was the other one?
money.
What was the other one?
So there's living life, friends, or money.
Money. Oh, your money comes last because you can just walk along a beach for free.
Okay, but does it? Let's look at one thing, for example, and this is the one time where men and women sort of separate here. How many women choose money rather than family and ultimately end up never having family?
Or living life.
Or living life. How many people, if you cannot tell me if your job was a lawyer, that family and friends and living life comes before money. You're absolutely money is your main priority. There is nothing a lawyer is doing that is not monetary. It's almost legal stealing. Yeah.
That's true. We all feel the same about them.
Don't judge people.
Sorry.
Judges judge. Giddy up money. It's okay. It is okay to be honest about it and say initially I want it to be money. Okay, here's another example. Give me a job that tells you straight up the most important thing to someone, and it can have crossovers of responsibility, money. I'll tell you one, mines. Yep. If you go to the mines, your priority is money. You get paid a lot because it's goddamn hard work, very long hours, but it rewards you for it. Now, there's two sorts of people. There's those that want to get ahead, the best version of them. They want to work for a short time and get that war chest. So it's a temporary priority.
Yep.
And then there's those that do it for family. But ultimately, if you're a minor, and I don't mean a child, and you go there to make the money for your family, ultimately you can lose your family.
Yep.
Because you're away so much. That
it's a sacrifice. It's a duty.
So just be careful about getting drawn, if you're young, into the mining game.
Yep. Exactly.
You might have the money, but that might be all you'll ever have.
Maybe we should look at chat for a minute because there's some really good questions. Vegemite Valley always puts his mates first before living life. And you know what? That's. I think I understand what you're saying, because if you've got something planned but your friend's going through a really hard time, sometimes you do have to, again, sacrifice and duty, because friendship is like a bank. You both have to make deposits.
I guess they come hand in hand. Living life for me would involve my friends and family.
Yeah, that's true. But you could do it without it.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. There's a yellow cow there, Kaz.
I do see that jaundiced cow that's crept in. Hey, Kaz, I'm 18 and leaving for Kapuka on February the 7th. Living life.
Yeah, indeed.
And friendship all at once and
money.
getting paid. What is the best way to build toughness to make it into recon, battalion, sniper, commandos, SSR? By the way, you're awesome. That's what she said. I'll tell you quickly, mate, after. Nutsu cow. And can we see some index fingers up there quickly to Turbo? I'll only make this short, mate, because we don't want to get too off tangent here.
Yeah.
But the best thing you can do is get into the military, get into infantry, and then do at least 1 year in infantry where you can hone your fitness, where you are competing continually against your peers. Then from there, they will train the brain, they will train the brawn, they will make you tough, okay? And then you will go on there and you will be informed and understand by talking to these people that it's a mindset more than it is a capability.
Yep, indeed.
All good. Thank you very much, mate.
Yeah. Hi, John Zaknich from West Side as well.
West Side.
Yep, Sanaj has got a good comment. If you're going to lose something, lose money. You can always get money back. That's true. Money comes, money goes in your life. Sometimes you're flush, sometimes you're not. 8 out of 10 millionaires have been financially bankrupt at some point, and that's true.
Yeah, that's
Yep.
right.
Yep, Dave D said if you live life and value friends, often money follows naturally. And that is true also.
Yes.
Good people. Good people want to work with good people.
Yeah, Turkey Fish says money is in the front for me at the present, hoping to change that, but that's how things are currently. And I appreciate your honesty on that.
Yep, and team, like if you can right now. If you don't like for the quiz, if you don't like for Lauren, if you don't like for Lovely Rose, then let's throw a like out there for Rob Kent's finger.
Yeah, exactly.
This one time only.
Yeah, give a finger up. Mr. Patterson, retired, trying to live life. Friends have had for the last 50 years. Yeah, and they're worth more than gold, old friends.
Yes, they are. And you know what? Your friends don't come from school. Your friends come from normally a career that you do, not a job, a career where you're around like-minded people, where you've been in the trenches together, where you've laughed together behind the boss's back, over coffees, over drinks. You've met each other's partners before they had families. And then you grow together, you separate, but you stay in contact. Friends are the same as relationships. You have to cultivate them or they will be gone forever.
Sorry, Sanj, it looks like we can't be friends anymore.
You've been friends since you met San when you were how old?
14, 15.
Yeah, when you were even little kids. Yeah, little
like
kids. Primary school.
As long as you don't sleep together, the friendship can continue.
And it has. And it has. They're really great friends, and it's valuable. And Daniel Thomas said something valuable too.
Yep.
I've put my head down and worked my ass off for the last few years, been away for most of my 20s, set myself up, and now it's time to live my life. And that's a man with a plan who's meeting his goals. The
best version of yourself, because you've got to remember, no girl wants to be with a guy under 25. At that time, you'll still find yourself, you're making stupid mistakes. You know, and you need to be able to build yourself and get past those times where peer pressure can bring you asunder. You know, make yourself the best version of yourself. You'll be the best dating person at 25 to 30. You know, you'll be in a good place.
And you're ready for commitment because you've already committed to other things.
Yeah.
You know, that's right.
Less partners are better. There's no advantage of being with triple figure females because I guarantee if you get one pregnant and you're being loose with all of them, it'll be the one you least wanted to have kids with.
Yeah, and the same thing I might be old-fashioned here, but I'd say the same thing to ladies. A high body count is really just going to come back and bite you emotionally when you get older.
You won't be able to pair bond.
Yeah, it has a psychological effect on you, and it's also you may have to question why you're doing that because you may be looking for love or attention in all the wrong places.
Let me say one thing, but advocate for men. Put a thumbs up if you agree with me, team. And I don't know if this is just a guy thing, but a man feels like a bloody king the night after a one-night stand. You feel like a legend.
I think ladies, I don't know, but I believe ladies, they seem to strut around. You know?
Yeah, we don't get regret. We think, let's do it again.
Yeah, I've seen gentlemen who have had regret when they've woken up like Captain Ahab chasing the white whale.
No matter how bad they look, I walked out of there like a rooster.
Oh my gosh, you're special.
Yeah!
Tim Webb said, can you be friends with someone who drinks Pepsi?
Never met one.
Yeah.
Okay, next question. This one's gonna test some of you. Whoa. And you can put it in here if you want. But remember, the more honest you are, you can't stop people from judging you once you let a fart out of the arse. You can't put it back in.
Put it back.
This next one is what is a secret you don't want to share?
Okay. Yeah, you don't have to put this one in the actual thing.
This is probably going to have to do with shame. Self-shame. You know, remember, you can't put this back in the bottle. And I do recommend, as an older guy to a lot of younger people, be very careful of having confession sessions thinking that, you know, you need to get it off your chest like that old show, Ed, whatever that was, where he went around saying sorry and told them things he'd done to them in the past. But it is a good thing. JJ, how you going, Submariner? To put down on paper what that is, because it makes it real. It is a little bit of an exorcism, gets it out of you. You know, if you acknowledge it is something you are not proud of, it is also something that you cannot change, then you've got to get on with life. As long as it's not something that you're still doing now that you're not proud of. Righto. So that was question 9. What is a secret you do not want to share?
Yeah.
I've got a few and I'm not going to say them.
Yeah, Rose and I told you ours off stream, but you know you don't have to share it with us.
Yeah.
My mate looks like a fat kangaroo. You've got a lot of living left to do if that's the biggest secret. Yeah.
Dude, I've shit myself in public. That was a secret at the time.
Yeah.
You don't tell someone, hey mate, I've just crapped my parents.
Yeah. That's it. Well, I'm glad you're not in that space anymore, Nicole King, and that would be shameful for people to know about you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, oh dear, all right.
We're going to make mistakes. We're all built imperfect.
Yeah, 40 Mike, that's true. You can tell the wrong people your secrets. You have to really, you've got to remember that, you know, people can really, really, what's that called? Betrayal is one of the worst feelings in the world.
Yeah, and look, we've plenty of times before, you know, we've said that you change every 2 to 4 years. So the old you may never have perpetrated what the old you used to be like. And
exactly.
You look at some of the people, if you were to question some people in prison, how they got there, they'd shake their head and go, dude, I do not know what I was thinking. You know?
Yeah, you know, and that's exactly right. Yeah, it's true. John Zachnich said, I think you're talking about the show My Name is Earl.
That's the one. Thank you very much, Johnny.
Yep, indeed.
Yep. I don't know if I like that show or not. It was a little bit too bullshit for me.
I never watched it, so I cannot make an assessment. Did you? What did you think? You thought it was funny, right? Yeah. Yeah, and that's okay, Nicole King, but I think not everyone's like that. Not everyone wants everybody to know everything about them, because remember, knowledge is power, and the knowledge you give people over you can be used as power over you.
And it can also be quite confronting to other people.
It's true.
And quite triggering for their experiences, for maybe being the person that has experienced something happening to that.
Yeah,
to them
it's true, and they maybe will just, because if I'm like this, I can't really put myself around rough people who have the potential in my eyes to. Oh, look, I make judgments on people. Gosh,
there's nothing wrong with judging people. It's how society stays alive.
Yeah, and the rougher people are, and the tougher, and that, I don't really want to associate with them or spend social time with them. And people would presume that with my friends, who are some of the toughest guys, in Australia, in the world, if not, that I'm not like that. But that's not true. I don't want to be around if there's a possibility that the night's going to get rough, and that I don't want that drama in my life. So I think that's why maybe. Sometimes, and this is what this whole stream's about, is about auditing who you were, saying, actually, I could have done better there, and changing who you are for the future.
Yeah.
Be a normal and very, very healthy to discern every situation, every person.
It is. It is healthy to make judgments and to discern. Yeah. Good night, Mr. P.
Good night, Mr. P. We're almost done.
Yeah, good night, John Boy. You did well. You stuck around for even more than 45.
Well, Mr. P's wanted a quiz for a long time. This was not necessarily the subject, but he loves a good quiz.
He does love a quiz.
His age probably means he loves a crossword.
Actually, I really love a quiz too.
Yeah.
Turbo Fisto, I was a sergeant. You'd call it a senior sergeant when I did, because I was qualified warrant officer, but I didn't want to be a warrant officer. Ted Slattery wanted to be a warrant officer, so we swapped that with Opsel. He got the promotion course I was meant to be on, and then I had a lower bowel disease, which meant I couldn't go on my sub 1 for warrant officer, the all core side of that. So I did my last days as an infantry sergeant in tactics wing at the School of Infantry. Okay, 2 last questions before we ask Lauren and Rose. This is a good one. This is question 10, which is our final question before the bonus question. What is one piece of advice that you would give someone the day before they turn 18 and then legally have to take responsibility for actions? Hashtag be an adult.
Yeah.
What would be the piece of advice that you would give to that 17-year-old? Okay, before he makes the step into the real world, so to speak. What was the piece of advice that you would give that person, or wish that someone had given to you?
Yeah, exactly. And I think for me it would be slow down, live more intentionally. Like, actually, you get to choose a lot in life. And I didn't realise that. I was kind of just floating around with wherever the breeze took me. Yeah. And I wish I'd been more intentional, set goals, met goals, and realised how much power I had in life.
Mm.
Do you know what I'd probably tell people? Two or three things. I was going to make a joke, and don't take your guns to town, son. Don't take your guns to town. One is never spend all your money. Cash flow is directly tied to your mental health.
Yep. Okay,
the other one is choose your friends wisely. Like they're the last friends you're ever going to have, and nurture them.
Right. Yep, that's right.
And the last one would be...
is better than bad friends.
Is never cheat on a partner.
Yeah, you will feel bad about yourself. There's some really good suggestions in the chat. Like Stephen Webb said, don't film stupid shit and put it on social media. Yes. Great advice.
Okay, got to go.
Yeah, we were lucky, weren't we, Kaz? We grew up and people think, what did you guys do before that? Well, we didn't have that around when we were stupid kids. Sana said you don't have to have it all figured out. The secret of adulthood is no one has it figured out, really. That's true. Like Kaz and I, we're just reaching our second life, as we like to call it, and we're still figuring it out. And what might have worked when we were 20 won't work for us now.
Yeah.
Dude, Jeff Bezos got caught sending dick pics.
Yep.
How the hell does that happen?
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, really? Come on now.
All these people in the background, they're lazy.
Somebody would capitalise on that.
Where are we?
Dave D's got good advice. Avoid regret for things not done, mostly. Yeah, that's true. You rarely regret doing something. You often regret not doing something. Yeah, Daz, don't take out loans. Exactly, live below your means.
There's nothing wrong with being in debt, but it better be useful debt, because you know what? I know so many people that are absolutely crippled by credit card debt, and I also have friends that have no spare money, which means no spare options. So it doesn't matter what your brain pattern is, what you want to do, wish to go, where to be, who you want to get, who you want to hang around. You can't do any of that because you don't have anything to bring to the table. And I'm not talking about finance. I'm talking about independence. I'm talking about options.
Actually, independence is really important, and that means like emotional independence too. I can't handle emotionally needy partners at all. Yeah, yep. No, it's exactly right.
Wait 2 seconds. Can you talk for 2 seconds? Give me 2 seconds.
Yep.
I'll go for 2 seconds. Yep, the door's open.
Oh, okay, no worries. Thank you.
I'm not trying to be rude, I'm so sorry. You just pulled the door shut. We're just on mic at the moment.
Hello.
Hey Tim, how we going? Just
We were confused.
just sorting out Christmas. Amanda is downstairs. She's just getting my little girl's Christmas and birthday present. So,
that's so exciting.
yeah, it's very, very exciting. Right. So we've done the one piece of advice. What did everyone have to say?
Okay, yeah, it was good. Like Dave D said, 2 eyes, 2 ears, 1 mouth, use all in proportion.
Yes.
Nicole King said, I'm so glad there wasn't any tech around when we were growing up. Yeah, I wish we'd had the internet, but I'm kind of wish that things like Facebook and that maybe didn't exist sometimes.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it's good. Messenger is great to be able to keep in contact. And maybe if it wasn't just so open for the whole world to see, I don't know. I wish we'd kind of done it differently. But yeah, I understand what you're saying there. We were pretty blessed, I think.
Yeah.
Johnny
I agree.
S says, passed my military interview and psychologist interview. Now just waiting for my medical and PFA. Well done.
You got to suck that hemorrhoid in, otherwise they're going to find it. You know, they're going to check for everything in the inverted atomic bomb, which is the what do you call it? The hemorrhoid there, and they're going to be looking for hernias and everything else as well.
You just painted a picture then.
Yeah. Last question, which is the disposable trick question, which is linked to the first question. The first question being, what score would you give yourself out of 10 if you were asked? Now, this question is, rate your mates. What would your friends rate you as? You've given yourself a 7, an 8, a 9, whatever. What would they give you? There's a caveat. It's not to your face.
Yeah, it's
they had to write the score down and write a couple of reasons why they gave you the score. Would they rate you highly, or would they maybe be a little bit more honest about you than you, or do they not see the value that you bring to the table? Do you have a bunch of narcissists as friends?
Yeah. You do have to audit your friends every now and then and do a cull of them, you know, because they're not all good. Yeah, that's exactly right, son. Exactly right. Hi, the Duke Ultimate. We're glad you made it, even though we're heading towards the butt end of it. Yeah,
it's okay. It's okay. It's an important one because when you rate your mates, and you might be wondering what am I talking about. You see it in SAS Australia, but we do it a lot in the military. And what there is it will be who is the worst performing person in each section. Who would you not go into conflict with and why? and that will actually go on their report. It will be your, and it's one of the most damning things that can be written is that you were not tolerated or accepted by peers. Because if you're going to be a sniper, don't care how good you are at shooting. It's about a lot more than just shooting. It's about how do you get along with others. And when you go overseas with weapons, the last thing you want is a few Alec Baldwins in your section.
Oh, yikes.
Who can't be trusted, but also can't take responsibility for their actions.
Yeah, exactly. Well, you know, if I was rating you, Kaz, on these questions, you would probably be like probably a 10. Because you are a great friend.
I'm a dickhead the best of times.
But you are a great friend.
I'm also, I can't take criticism good when it's good.
But yeah, exactly. No, you're a great friend. I mean, you're a great friend to me. I think Rose, and me. Yeah, and Rose thinks you're a great friend to her.
Thank you.
I think you actually are the perfect person to be talking about this thing. You have so many traits that I wish I had. Like, you're such a people person. You love people, whereas I kind of hide and hiss at them like a vampire.
But this is something that's come a lot of time. I've always been a giver, but in other things, you know, in weaknesses is my inability to concentrate, my ability to offer promises that I can't keep. You know, to over promise, under deliver is a poor trait, you know, but that's because it's not you're trying to keep people happy. It's because you actually do want to make everyone happy, but not in a Pollyanna kind of way.
Exactly. You know? Not toxic positivity. That's not what we're talking about. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Right. Well, that's the questions out the way. What they would give you.
Yeah. I have my bonus question,
and that's what I was going to get to. What would your question be? And I don't know what this one's going to be.
Yeah, right. You have to do it yourself too. Okay, Rose and I came up with this one together, so it's kind of like a joint effort. Now, it's a complete this sentence kind of question. Are you guys ready?
Listo.
Okay, I deserve fill in the blank.
A second chance.
Yeah, that's a good answer. That's a good answer. I deserve fill in the rest of the sentence.
You can stick with mine if you want. A second chance. I've turned 50.
Yeah, and that's great. And that's a really good answer.
I'm still here. I know what I've done wrong. You know, I don't want to repeat any of the things that I'm ashamed of.
Yeah, exactly. There's no point making mistakes if you don't learn from them. That's the definition of insanity, isn't it? Just repeating the same behaviour and expecting different results. And
if you have no regrets in life.
Sean says he deserves a smack upside the head.
Okay, maybe I'll take that one instead.
Yep, exactly.
He's a 10 out of 10 friend.
He is a 10 out of 10 friend.
There you go.
Yeah.
Anyone that ever tells you they have no regrets is hiding something, or they're a narcissist.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Look, 40 Mike is spot on, and because this is the thing, Turbo Fisto, I'm not sure how old you are because I haven't actually seen your name around here. You don't deserve opportunity, you create opportunity, or you find them and take them. You don't necessarily deserve them to drop in your lap because it doesn't. But 40 Mike is right. I deserve nothing. I've got to fight for it. That's true too, but the second chance is like that wins.
Yeah. Or I deserve safety.
I deserve, safety but to have my boundaries. Everyone's allowed to have boundaries, and that includes choosing your friends and things like that.
Yeah.
Good night, Nicole.
Nicole, before you go, just say you know, and this is confession session a little bit. Just so you know, one of the reasons that I'm the way I am now, almost everything I do is to assist my ex-partner, and that's not because I want to get back with her. It's not because I want to rekindle anything. It's because she's a very, very intelligent woman, very independent, but gave up independence to allow me in. She'd just come back from being an office manager in England for 6 years and met me the first weekend she got back. But she was willing to be the forever girl. And that all came unstuck because of situations that happened throughout my life. So what I'm doing now is my second opportunity. I've had a fantastic 50 years with some very, very horrible lows and some very, very atmospheric highs. Okay, but I feel that my second half of life in many ways should be to make sure that I never lose sight of the fact that someone backed me as the horse that they thought would win, that cut that journey away from them. So until she has another partner, it is my job to support that family as best I can without anyone ever asking me anything. I've got to beat them to that, to be the provider, the protector. Okay, but it's done out of respect, understanding that I blew an opportunity to be with someone for the rest of my life, but it was because of wheels that had spun on incidents that occurred in my life where I don't blame anyone. Okay, but you do have to pay your dues at times and understand that sometimes when people are connected to another human being, it's not necessarily out of anything other than a sense of righteousness. So, there.
Yeah.
Yep. That was all wise.
Yeah. I understand that.
Yeah, and I don't even know how she feels about it. Kane,
Yeah, okay.
the Northern Parrot.
He wants you to listen to I Was Only 19.
Dude, I was 19 when that came out.
Oh, Kane.
Hero of Troy is here. How you been, mate? We love Hero of Troy.
Yeah, we do.
Rob Kent's lost his finger today.
Yeah, wow. What about that?
Yep. How'd you go in the Melbourne Cup team? I didn't even pick a winner.
I forgot it was on.
I was working.
Yeah, so...
It didn't stop this nation, I can tell you that much.
What's that one?
The race that stops the nation.
Hey, Nicole, thanks for that, mate. I just, as a former military person yourself, it's important that we let people that are younger than us know that you've still got to live with honour. And
It's
even
true.
though no one might hear what you say in the forest, okay, you never know when someone is watching. And it might not be watching to judge, it might be watching to learn.
Yep, exactly. Exactly right.
Old people should act wise.
Yeah, indeed.
Oh, Hero Troy pickled it. $50 on the nose. Pick the
Gosh.
winner, Sammy. We're not talking about snot here.
Yeah. Oh, please don't go there again.
Look, I put money into crypto. It was a record rise for Shiba Inu, and I put the money on the minute that it stopped rising and now has reversed and gone back down almost as far. I'm the oracle of bad fortune in crypto.
Yeah,
The oracle.
that's okay. John Zachnich, he lost his finger by, was it a turbo prop?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he would have basically heard a not felt a thing, looked down and thought, uh-oh.
Yeah.
Kane.
Gosh,
Kane and
gosh.
Lauren.
Oh,
I lost my Melbourne Cup bets. Then why are you giving me $2?
yeah, come on, Kane. You need that.
Not too cow. What movie is that from, that famous movie? You owe me $2. I want my $2.
No.
The guy, it's like a loan shark comes after him for the whole movie, but it's only for $2.
You might not know this. JP is sitting here with us, and it's killing him. He's trying to remember what movie that is.
He'd know it. It's his era. Here's another one, because tonight was all about holding up a mirror to us all and talking about ourselves. Okay, the truth will be revealed.
Yeah, exactly.
To
And
yourself.
We do it to ourselves because that's actually how we've gotten over obstacles.
Yeah.
And, when you get to our age, if you haven't gotten over any obstacles, you've led a sheltered life.
That's it. That's where character comes from. Here's just a little bit of a life sort of thing. I had a conversation today with a young lady who's a friend of mine that we had an early dinner with, but it wasn't romantic. She actually is a friend. I have females as friends.
Yeah, you do, lots.
And I'm not a leftist.
Yeah, exactly.
And we were talking today. She's 28, 27. We're going to turn 28. So she's way too old for me.
Oh, good.
Joking. But I said to her, I said, when we look about life, because I asked her about what we should do tonight for the stream, and we were talking, and I said, so you're 27 years old, you've got 2 kids, 2 different fathers. I get it.
Yep.
No problems, no dramas.
No one here judges anyone for baby daddies.
Yeah, and we were having a good chat, and I said, so you're 27 years old. I said, how many people do you think within a couple of kilometres of this postcode are 10 years younger than you, 10 years younger, so 17 and 18, that have totally ruined any opportunity that they will ever have a life, let alone a good life. Their life is already basically over. They cannot come back from it. They have made personality mistakes.
Ask Mr. Buckaroni, prison's full of them.
Yep. Whether it be wrong friends, whether it be substance abuse you can't come back from.
Exactly.
Whether, there is, it's so sad.
Choosing to die on a hill that's not worth it.
Wrong tattoos in wrong places on your body that will get you typecast instantly.
It's true, because even if you get them removed, you may end up with a big scar there. Yeah, that's true. Live intentionally. This is such a good stream, Kaz. I got an awful lot out of it.
My favourite one.
Yeah, it's a great one.
It's just conversations. When was the last time people had conversations? Where can you go where you don't have someone that radically jumps down and say, you can't do this, you can't do that? Can I throw another example?
Go.
Maddie Ledbetter. Ledbetter?
Yep.
Okay. Would it be considered racist if I was, I didn't mean to use the word, if I was in, what do you call it? Detroit, 9 o'clock at night. Would I be judgmental if I looked on the same side of the road as me, walking towards me, so they're in my path, 4 guys, and they were all wearing red, they were all African American, and I crossed the road to the other side before they got to where I was?
No, I think that's a healthy decision making.
Yeah.
Yes, that's exactly right. But some people would say and turn that into something dirty.
Say that, but they'd cross the road too. They'd just
of course they would.
Signal that they wouldn't, because this is actually something we learn in domestic violence rehabilitation, is that you need to judge to keep yourself safe.
Yes.
It's right. It's one of the oldest lessons. It's called the gut feeling.
Yep, exactly.
Everyone is judging people all the time.
I was actually at the Night Watchers Paranormal live stream this morning, and we were talking about gut instincts, and you never ignore them.
No. They're there for a reason. And sometimes, man, you can be in the middle of a shopping centre and all of a sudden...
Oh, JP, he just had to say these pretzels are making him thirsty.
Seinfeld.
He's gone now. Don't worry, that was his big debut.
For one day, I was a marine biologist. Jerry!
Yeah, continue. He's gone. So I apologise.
But there's so many things in life, I get judged all the time. I get judged, and I don't give a shit. There's no emotion whatsoever, because I've been around real life, real problems, first world problems, real world problems, Western problems, but also third world problems.
Exactly. It puts things in perspective, right? And if you get judged incorrectly, and people can misjudge people, because, I have tattoos, I've owned and worked in tattoo shops. People make a lot of judgments on me, and that's fine, whatever. You can be wrong if you want. Just, be the exception. Keep going. Oh, Rose, did you see that comment Joe made about lentil? Because you live at the Lentil Palace. Yeah, I've told them all. Sorry, I've told them all that you're the lentil queen.
Lentils, I think of the young ones straight away.
Yeah, me too.
Can we open the chat up now?
Yep.
Okay, we won't be here for too much longer, team. It doesn't matter if they're black, white, grey or alien, and I see a pack, it seems sus, I'd cross the road. Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
With drunk groups of people too.
Absolutely.
To avoid the drama.
Yep.
Yeah, even if it's a couple of drunkies, I'll avoid them.
Yeah.
Yep. Katsa, Fantastic. Make sure you subscribe to Team. If this is your first time here, let us know so we know this is your first time here.
Yeah, exactly. We love it when you say g'day. I'll just put a link to the Patreon.
When you get to heaven, what do you think you'll say? You'll say g'day.
Yeah.
Guys and gals, too often we try to look for US celebrities for words of wisdom when we have people within our own nation that are over 40, over 50, over 60, over 70. You'd get exactly the same wisdom from. You know, open your ears, close your mouth sometimes, and you'll be amazed on the journey you can go through not just the written word, but the spoken word. You know.
Yep, indeed. Hi, Zane. We're just about to get out of here, but we're glad you joined us. You should watch this one back.
Yeah, learn about ourselves. Can we get some questions? We'll go for 3 questions from the.
Yeah. Oh, here's a good question from Turbo Fisto.
Okay.
Are you ready? Which kind of that name is slightly off-putting.
Yeah, I know. I started to think squannolt. No.
Yeah, okay. He said, just curious, if you end up pointing out inaccuracies in action movies, seeing you've seen it all.
If you end up,
question.
Yes, I do. Look, I do. I don't bring it out. Sometimes I'll shake my head and claw.
Oh, it's only Hollywood. You're not expecting that.
As though you'd die like that.
Yeah, exactly.
We do that with horror films.
We do it with horror films, yeah. That's right. You take off your high heels and run, Lady in Cloverfield.
40 Mike says I'd rather listen to a vet than a celeb. Do you mean a military veteran or an animal veteran?
Yeah.
You know,
Both. Than a celebrity.
Guys and gals, it's a great thing we've got here. Always keep my distance at night anyway. I'm a bit paranoid, but that's better.
You're not paranoid.
There's nothing wrong with that.
You're actually just staying safe. Your risk management, it's a thing.
Protective behaviours.
Yes, good. Risk management's important.
Well, imagine if you got pickpocketed in China and the police go, what did he look like? You go, come on.
Oh, no, just stop it, Kaz.
Come on.
Stop. There's a line and you are way over it.
He looked like every one of them.
You will be in Lentil Palace, sir.
Yeah, look, Rosie's going to put you in the Lentil Palace if you keep going.
Yeah. As long as what you say is right and people haven't heard it before and they don't resent who you are, there's a good chance I'll learn from what you got to say.
It's true.
Good conversations, but the problem is, and you'll always hear me bashing lefties, you know, is I don't mean physically.
Yeah, no.
You know, is that you're not allowed to finish a sentence. If you say something's white, they say it's black. And one of the traits of a personality trait that's very, very ugly and points towards narcissism is disagreeable. That no matter what you do, it'll never be enough. They'll always find something wrong with it. They'll always dig deep. They'll always look for more meaning.
Yep.
You know.
Exactly. And if they're vain, they'll think everything's about them.
That's another song lyric. I guess you think the song is about you.
Yeah, we both love sprouts, Jay. I don't hate the lentils, but it can be too much. Joshua Fawns, just because you're paranoid doesn't mean they're not out to get you.
That's absolutely true. That's absolutely true. You know, I always reckon there's 4 sorts of people. There's those that lean to the right, there's those that are dead centralists, there's those that lean to the left, and there is the globalist.
Yeah.
Yep. So as soon as you know who you're talking to, you'll understand why they're talking to you.
Yeah, exactly. That's right. Everyone has an agenda, and some people, that agenda might just be, I'd like to know your story. Yeah. Or the agenda might be, let me educate you before they can speak to you. Or the agenda might be, what can I get you to do for me?
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Steve Webb, we prefer not to talk about that vegetable.
Does Stephen Webb? It has delicious Brussels sprouts.
Homegrown.
I will never listen to anyone that says a Brussels sprout is nice while covering it in butter, garlic, pepper, everything to take away the actual taste of that filthy.
Gravy.
No, Jay's tried that to give him all different ways to eat Brussels sprouts. It's okay that you just don't like them.
Kane Higgins, Shannon Knoll, fantastic version of What About Me.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
Well, I think we've done this one almost to death. Can we get one more question?
One more good question.
Can we get it from Joshy Fawns, please? Because he was the one that asked us a question today.
Yeah, come on, Joshua. You've been MVP today.
You're in the limelight, my man.
Yeah.
Spit it out or we'll make you get the hose again.
Jay, it's just a mini cabbage. And you know what I used to say to Rose when you're a little girl?
Asparagus is worse.
This is how I got her to eat broccoli. I said, just pretend you're a giant eating little trees. Yeah. And you could pretend you're a giant eating a big full-size cabbage with a Brussels sprout.
What was written here? The Duke Ultimate. What about asparagus? That looks like John Wayne Bobbitt's Bobbit if they had found it.
Asparagus is delicious.
Filth.
Asparagus, if you eat enough of it, it'll make your wee smell funny.
I don't trust vegans. Christopher Jones, 2 first names. Reasons why Army is more important than Navy. It's not, man, but I will tell you, there is more mateship on in the Army than what there is in the Navy, and I'll explain something to you. The Navy all have set skill sets. You're a sailor, sure, but you've got different jobs within that ship. Make sure you get assigned to a warship. More pride. It's like being in the footy team, rather than the auxiliary team, etc. But the Army, in particular, infantry and engineers, is you're around exactly the same people day in, day out, rain, hail or shine, no TV, no phones for sometimes weeks, months at a time. So whatever you're experiencing, you're doing it all together. You cannot escape. You are forced together, and the coal turns into a diamond or it turns into dirty coal.
Yeah, exactly, under pressure. Yeah.
But it's all human choice.
Yeah, exactly. And it's the whole system, the way it's put together.
And there's one difference too.
Mm-hmm.
The Navy will never come onto the land and get to do our job, but the Army, infantry, quite often in an amphibious role or deployment role, will go onto naval ships. No responsibilities other than don't sit in the captain's chair and don't open doors to rooms you don't belong in.
And just know, exactly. We were talking about that the other day. And just know they may pop into your room with a can of air freshener.
That's right. But the cabin boy knows he's safe for the Army guys. And no one puts something up our butt when we cross the bloody equator.
Have you, Rose? She's shocked by the cabin boy joke.
This might hurt you to say, but I totally recommend the Navy.
Yeah, I agree.
Until you have children. Until you have children.
They're great folks.
Yeah. Love the Navy until you get children, because I tell you what, you will change instantly when you become a father. And the last thing I'd want you to see you do is outside deployment, because they're considered operational every time they're on the boat. Lift the boat. Okay. And I hate seeing fathers away from children. I really do.
Yeah, I agree. Good night, Ollie. Good night.
Oliver Twist, please, sir, can I have some more, Captain?
Yeah. Oh, we're going to have to get out of here, Kaz.
We are too. Have any funny stories? I've got many.
Too many. Yeah.
So many. And actually, I go into the blather state where I don't even know what to say because there is so many. And normally Anzac Day brings them all out again and again. And there is spice and GST on every one. Guys and gals, thank you very much. Subscribe to the channel. Consider coming over to Patreon to help me buy cows for Daz forever. Let's help a farmer out. For the price of a coffee, get over there. You get to talk to me one-on-one on here so I can help you, whether it be military, Navy, okay, crypto, stocks, or just someone outside your circle. No one's got too many friends, especially ones that matter. Good night, everyone. Good night, girls and boys. And with the lovely voice of Rose the Triffid.
Yeah, it was so nice to have you with us.
It was. Nutsu cow, you beautiful bastards. Let's get out of here.
Good night, everyone.
And if your parents weren't married, you are in actual fact a bastard, and that's not an insult. See you later. Love ya. And I actually do sometimes. Bye.